To Rula Amin, who is watching developments from neighbouring Lebanon and joins me now from Majdal Anjar. Rula, we've been saying all along that the violence is continuing in Syria, and the latest reports we're getting is that there's more fighting happening on the outskirts of Damascus. Just bring us up to date with the fighting inside Syria.
Yes, the situation on the ground in Syria is deteriorating very, very quickly, not only in terms of the government measures against the protesters and the casualty numbers rising by the hour, but also in terms of how the conflict is turning into an armed conflict, sometimes between the army and defectors, sometimes between the army and some armed groups who feel that it's time to carry arms against this government and that's the only way to go. And so on the ground you see more and more people carrying guns, more blood on the streets and more casualty even among the security forces. And that's why on one hand some people on the street feel very desperate, and now they are calling for international intervention. They want the Arab League to take more severe measures against the government. They want the Arab League to suspend Syria's membership in the Arab League in order to put more pressure on the regime, and they feel this is the only way out. On the other hand, the escalating situation is making some opposition more careful. They say they want this Arab plan to be saved. They don't want the Arab League to drop it because that's the only way out. They want a smooth transition, a peaceful transition, and they feel if it means that they have to talk to the regime, they'll talk to the regime. But they need a way out because they fear a civil war and a very long, bloody conflict.
And one other development, Rula, a Lebanese man has been killed by a landmine that's been planted along the border. Now, these are landmines being planted by the Syrian military to, they say, stop the flow of arms into Syria from Lebanon.
Yes, well, that's what the Syrian government is saying. They say that a lot of the arms that are flowing into the country are coming from Lebanon. And they accuse even some Lebanese parties and Lebanese factions of trying to destabilize the country by supplying arms and money to the protesters and to the armed groups. So they say they are putting these landmines to stop the arms flowing into Syria. But if you talk to some of the human rights organizations here, they feel that these landmines are also aimed at stopping the refugees from entering Lebanon and stopping some of the defectors, soldiers who flee the army. They don't want to fight maybe the Syrian army, but they don't want to be part of it. So they flee the country into Lebanon, and these landmines will stop their flow into the country as well.
Rula, thanks very much indeed for that update. Rula Amin in Lebanon there.